Alright guys, here we are out on the top of this roof here, and just want to get a little bit of footage here, a couple of the units that were on here. Hopefully we got the full contract on this one. I know we got the refrigeration on this business, so just in the nick of time too. Quite a few units. Check out that vent fan. Oh man, the grease is just overflowing. So here we are on this one. We got two more little condensers over there that are running, and this is the only one. We've got the power turned off to both the condenser and the evaporator, so this is the only one not running here on the roof. So we're going to assume this is the one. So let's get this top off and get to looking at it. Get a diagnosis on this. Breaker's turned off anyway up here. Good deal. All right. Right here on the cutout module here, this is our high pressure cutout. As you can see, we're set on 450, which is a pretty standard setting on these controls. We're going to move on to the high vent and the differential. As you can see, let's see if we can get a shot of it, get the camera on it here. It says it switches on pressure rise, so it closes on pressure rise. So and it says switch low vent is high vent minus differential. So basically when our unit's off and our pressure rises in our suction line to our setting here, which is roughly about 33 psi, 32, 33, the unit will come on. Now as it runs, the pressure in the suction line will drop. And when that occurs, as that occurs, it's going to run until it gets to the setting of minus what the differential is. So let's take a look at the differential here. If we take 33 minus our differential, which is 23, that's going to give us 10. So the unit's going to run until the pressure gets down on the suction line to about 10 psi. Then it's going to cut off. Okay, so we're testing here, and we've got, this is our incoming high voltage here, one leg, and the white one here is our other one right here. We've got 240 from here to here, so we've got power coming in. And if we trace through here, we come to this leg right here. And this is powered. So one leg is going to come off there and go to our crankcase heater, which is right here. So our Crankcase heater should be on right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. We are pulling an amperage. The only other wire that we've got off of this where our power comes in is this one here, and that one there goes to our Renko cut in and cut out module. So we test the voltage coming back through it, which comes to this terminal right here, and this one right here is got a lot of stuff on it. This leg has our fan wire, which is right here, black. And also this leg here is going to power, this terminal is going to power this wire right here, which is our compressor common. So we have no voltage coming back from our Renko to here to initiate our fans or our compressor to come on. So let's determine why that is. Most of the time it's either a bad control, number one, or we've got a leak and we're low on Freon. So let's figure it out, guys. This is CS14K60 PFV 273. So you can see our oil. We are POE. We're not mineral. Most of the time when we're POE, we're either going to be some type of, we're not going to be a 22 or anything like that. So we'll go here to our condenser model number here. We got an FJAL A200-CFV-006. I don't know if you guys can see that. So the suction coming off our compressor here. Pretty bad rusted up here, but we'll see what we can do. We don't actually have a port with no Schrader off of our valve here in our valve body, like a lot of them, and which is good because we may not even be able to get this thing to turn here. So what they did was they came off here with basically a Schrader port T to our low side on our Renko. So this should have a Schrader in it here, and it does. So we're just going to plug in right here and see what we got. Negative 9.5. Alright guys, this is over here on the high side now. It's going to go ahead and hook up. Make sure our pressure is equal on both sides and we don't have some type of blockage or something. So on your typical like this is not going to be a Schrader in here because it's part of the valve body. What you don't want to do when this is all the way out, which is clockwise, looking at it pointing down, when it's all the way down, screwed down, it's going to let this refrigerant flow, but it's not going to let it flow out of this port. So when we start to turn this counterclockwise like this, what we're going to do is, within a couple turns, we're going to let the pressure come through the port here, and it'll still flow. So this is what we're going to do, is just give it a couple turns in operation to see our pressure. And if we want to shut this off, this flow of refrigerant off, we would screw this all the way up until it stops. But be real careful, guys, when you're doing this. When you screw this all the way up in there until it stops. Okay. We're going to stop that flow of refrigerant into our receiver. But it's not going to stop the flow of refrigerant out of our port here. And yeah, I've done it. I'm sure a lot of other technicians have done it. You've taken this cap off thinking when I first started, I screwed this all the way up. We stopped our refrigerant. We also blocked our port, right? Wrong. The refrigerant will shoot out here and it'll blast you. So we don't want that to happen. So remember, all the way in just blocks the refrigerant flow. It does not block the refrigerant from coming out of the port. So what we want to do, usually when you come up on it, it'll be in the full out position, just like this. So what we want to do right now, when it's in the full out position, this is when we want to put our gauge on. So let's do that. See, we don't have a Schrader in. Now that our gauge is hooked up, now we'll come back and we'll turn it in just a couple turns. Now our refrigerant will still flow and we'll get a pressure out of our port. Just a little safety thing for you guys. Okay, and we're on both sides. We're not looking good. So just wanted to double check that and get some nitrogen in here. Got it right at 150, both sides. We're just going to let her sit for a while and squirt some bubble solution around, see if we can come up with anything just obvious. We made sure that our indoor evaporator is matched and sized right to our condenser out here by our compressor numbers. It is a match set. I like to do that just in case if it wasn't matched right when somebody installed it, then going back and replacing components is a nightmare to try to get to work right. So anyway, we are matched. On our pressure test, we didn't have any pressure drop within the first hour, so I just left my gauges on it, came back 24 hours. We dropped 5 psi in 24 hours. So we do have a leak. Okay, our compressor came on. Condenser fan motor came on. So we're just going to give them a worst case scenario price and see if he goes with it.